This is the story of theft that for 6 years did not allow the world's leading investigative agency to gather the courage to choose. Not just one or two, the value of this theft was 19,000 crore rupees. How did the thief lose 35 crore? Dollars in just one phone call. How did he hide such a huge amount in a small jeans container? Why did those who had it turn away from this money? Welcomes SBS Nazarene on September 13, 2019. Jimmy son made an emergency call to 911. And with this call, he made the biggest mistake of his life because it was going to land him big trouble. Jimmy Jung lived in a small town called Athens, Georgia, USA. He called the police to report a burglary at his house, and when the police officer asked him, he said that $400,000 had been stolen from this house. The police officer was also surprised to hear about such a huge amount. Jimmy arranged maximum security in his house. He also had CCTV footage of the thief who had entered the house on his doorstep. But the thief's face could not be seen clearly in the CCTV footage. Jimmy Jung graduated from the University of Georgia. He was known as a party boy among his friends. He used to spend $5 lakh or around Rs 4.25 crore on each party. Whenever he went out, he could foot the bill for the drinks of all his friends who were with him. Once Jimmy gathered all his friends and flew them all to Los Angeles on a private jet to watch his favorite football team play. So by now you realize how much money Jimmy has become at such a young age. When the police failed to trace the burglary that occurred at his home, they hired a private detective named Ali. Because of Jimmy's lifestyle and friend circle, it seems that one of his friends stolen this. For this reason, Ali looked into Jimmy's personal life, such as his social media account, his bank account transaction, to thoroughly study his case. This private detective was also worried about the source of Jimmy's income behind spending so much at such a young age. Jimmy used to tell everyone he was a Bitcoin trader and crypto investor. Everyone believed this after seeing the rising price of Bitcoin over the past few years. Ali said that boy in the video footage and turning his home knew all along that Jimmy was not home. Because knew that Jimmy was never home, he must have been a close friend of Jimmy's. This was not the first time the Athens police had been introduced to the land. A few years ago, Jimmy was caught in the case of possession of cocaine, and since then Jimmy was introduced to the police officers. Often the Athens police used the CCTV camera installed in his house to investigate other cases. But this time, because of the K call to 911, Jimmy was highlighted by the police. At that time, the regional cybercrime unit also came to know that $4 lakh had been stolen from Jimmy Jung's house. He suspected that Jimmy had bitcoins, but where did he get so much money? This regional cybercrime unit has been investigating the Silk Road cryptocurrency case for the past 7 years, but so far they haven't got a single clue. Skill Root was an online exchange where all the wrongdoing took place. Everything from arms to drugs was traded here. Bitcoins were also traded here. In 2012, this exchange was hacked, due to which the hacker stole a total of 51,680 bitcoins from all traders. But since it was an illegal website, no one reported the theft. The following year, the owner of the skill route was caught. With that, the FBI shut down the website and seized all the bitcoins. 170,000 bitcoins were recovered from the owner of the skill route by the FBI, but 51,680 bitcoins were still missing, which has already been stolen by a hacker. The FBI thought that perhaps the owner of skill root had transferred it to another account. The transaction of various Bitcoin accounts are completely transparent. Anyone can see them, but only the owner of the account is not known. The regional cybercrime unit suspected Jimmy had anything to do with the stolen bitcoins from the skill root account. Was it important for him to find Jimmy's bitcoins address first? Was it important for him to find Jimmy's bitcoin address first? For this task, the Athens police and the regional cybercrime unit came up with a plan to visit Jimmy. Because the police were already investigating his 4 lakh US dollar case, this meeting was completely natural for Jimmy. Then the three officers entered Jimmy's house as planned. During their conversation, they asked Jimmy what his source of income was. Jimmy then showed them his 2 bitcoins. There was also a blockchain expert on the regional cybercrime unit team. He speculated that Jimmy could not afford to live in such luxury with 2 or 4 bitcoin mining machines. During this conversation, an officer accessed Jimmy's laptop. He copied Jimmy's Bitcoin address. It was one of Jimmy's many Bitcoin's address, but it was enough to establish a connection with the Silk Road scheme to hide. The regional cybercrime unit's arrow was right on target. Of course, a specific amount of Bitcoin was read into the address, but its transaction history link was consistent with the Silk Road account many years ago. Jimmy must have had some connection with the Silk Road website many years ago. Now officers are looking for the 51,680 bitcoins they thought Jimmy had. The officer contacted Jimmy again and arranged the meeting, but this time they have brought a search warrant against him. When Jimmy finds out, his face goes to chip. Officer began searching his home. They check each of Jimmy's tiles to see if any secret storage box have been bolted underneath. Finally, they found a small container with a small towel inside. A towel inside the container is suspicious. They take it out from the inside. Underneath the towel is a small computer chip. It was a Bitcoin hard wallet with 51,000 Bitcoins still in it, and those in 2020 were worth 35 crore dollars. Jimmy Jung was badly trapped. He lost 51,000 bitcoins while catching the thief of his 4 lakh dollars. Jimmy told officers that to fulfill his dark habit, he would go to the sell code exchange and buy truck there. One day in 2012, when he was withdrawing his bitcoins from there, he noticed a loophole in the website. Jimmy also had a good knowledge of blockchain, so using that loophole, he started withdrawing bitcoins from other website users as well. When the withdrew 51,680 bitcoins, the owner of Silk Road came to know about it. According to the price of Bitcoin at that time, his amount was 5 lakh dollars. The owner of Silk Road knew he could not complain to the police, so he sent Jim a private message and asked him what loopholes the website had. Jimmy told him the loophole of the website. In return, he forgave the stolen bitcoins. Athens police, FDI, and the regional cybercrime unit have now solved the years small case. In 2023, Jimmy Jung was sentenced to 1 year in his fraud case. This is the largest Bitcoin sum in US history. If Jimmy had not called 911 that today, he might be remaining free with his Bitcoin today. But his phone call took everything away from him in one fell sweep.